to my channel. So today's video is going to be a day in the life video, and I'm going to take you with me on my day. It's almost noon right now, so I'm not going to show you me having my coffee this morning. I already had it, and I already worked for a few hours, but I'm back home now, and I was going to take you with me for the rest of my day. And I thought, while I take you with me on some errands, I need to go to a soccer game later, I do have to work for a couple more hours later, I thought I might talk to you about my GLP-1 experience. So I have been on a GLP-1 medication, an injectable medication, for about 7 months, a little over 7 months. And specifically, I take semaglutide, which is compounded with B12 from a compounding pharmacy. My insurance company wasn't going to cover any type of weight loss drugs. They weren't going to cover any type of diabetic medications. I'm not diabetic, so that makes total sense. So I do pay out of pocket for a compounded solution that I get online. I do want to preface by saying that I'm not a healthcare professional. I'm not a nutritionist. This is just my experience. These feelings are my own. Any experiences or side effects or any kind of mindsets that I've had are all my own, and they don't necessarily apply to anyone else. And I'm not trying to give anybody advice on whether or not they should be on this medication. So I guess to start off the conversation about the semaglutide, I will say what my why is. So why would I start? It's kind of a controversial weight loss drug. You have to inject yourself once a week, which can be a hurdle to get over. And there are risks that come along with it. There are side effects that come along with it. So what was my why? And I will just say that for me, I had tried, and I know you've heard this a million times before, but I had tried so many weight loss programs, so many efforts. There are so many times that I did lose weight. I mean, Weight Watchers, keto, low carb, vegan, medical weight loss clinic, Jenny Craig. I mean, I could go on and on. I've been struggling with my weight since I was 11. And the first time I went on Weight Watchers, I was 14. And I did lose weight with these programs. Many of them I lost weight. And the issue for me was that I could never stop overeating. If I was on a program where I felt deprived, I would take a cheat day or a cheat weekend or a cheat vacation. And then there were times when I was anti-diet. And so it was a free-for-all. I really just wanted something, because I had heard from various social media outlets that this quieted the food noise in your head, and I didn't really understand what that meant. I thought I did, but I didn't really understand what that meant until I actually experienced it myself. For me, when I use this medication, I don't constantly think about food. And I didn't think that was ever going to be something that was going to be a way that I could live my life. I thought I would always be thinking about what's my next meal. And when I was dieting, that was exacerbated because I was constantly thinking what I was going to eat next. How many calories is this? When's my next meal? I'm hungry now, but I should wait. It was just a never-ending cycle. When I started this medication, I was nervous because I knew there were side effects involved. I knew there was a black box warning on there for people that were at higher risk for thyroid cancer. And I took all of those things into consideration before I started. When I first started this medication, one of the biggest hurdles for me was giving myself an injection. I had never done it before. And I remember being a kid and being afraid of being diabetic someday because I knew that diabetics had to give themselves injections. And I realize now that that was a kind of a silly fear to have at the time, but it was a hurdle for me to inject myself with a needle. At first, I couldn't really tell if the medication was working. I was at a really low dose. I knew I was going to have to wait until I got to a higher dose to really see and feel the results that I thought might happen. So for the first few weeks, I was just kind of waiting to see, is this working? I felt like it was working, but I didn't know if it was a placebo effect. And after a little while, I started to notice my appetite was not as great as it used to be. That's not to say that I wasn't eating anything, because I know that's a common misconception, at least in my experience. I don't ever feel like I didn't want to eat at all. If anything, I never know what I want to eat because nothing sounds good. But I know that I want to eat, I just don't know what. Just to keep it completely honest, I didn't change what I was eating from a normal diet to now. I have not been hyper-focused on protein. I haven't been worried about eating diet foods. I've been eating really whatever I enjoy. I've just been eating less of it. And it has been really liberating. It's been so liberating, in fact, that I don't even care how long it takes me to lose this weight. It doesn't really bother me, the idea that it could take years for me to get to a goal. I don't even have a goal. That's how much my mindset has changed. And I know that the goal is not to be on this medication forever, but I do also feel like my mindset is changing, and I don't think that's necessarily going to go away. And that feels really good. All right, well, I think I'm going to take a break here. I'm going to go have some lunch, and stick with me because I'll take you with me on my errands today. And I'm going to be talking about how much weight I've lost, what kind of side effects I've had, and the future of me and this medication. So stick around. Okay, so lunch today is gonna be a chicken salad sandwich. I'm gonna make myself a chicken salad sandwich, and then I'll probably have chips with it or something like that. I'm using 2 cans of chicken breast from Costco with some Chosen Foods mayo that I also picked up at Costco. And then I'm gonna season it with a little bit of this Kinders, however you say that, the blend, which is basically just salt, pepper, and garlic. And I'm making kind of a lot because I always make extra. My 13-year-old son plays football and soccer. So he's at practice every single day of the week, except for the weekends. But he has games on the weekends. Anyways, he loves chicken salad and he'll always eat it as a snack. So I feel like it's a really good option between school and practice. Okay, so I'm gonna eat outside today and then I have to head to Costco. But I just wanted to talk really quickly about my food choices because I know that when people see GLP, they know I'm trying to lose weight and they're gonna be like, why is she eating this? Why am I eating a chicken salad sandwich on an onion roll and some Doritos and a Mountain Dew Zero? Well, let me tell you that I know exactly where you're coming from, because in my own brain, in my own thought process, when I was making this, I was fighting off all of the previous, all the build-up, previous thought process that I have built up over so many years of dieting. So I look at this plate, which is really small, by the way, because I didn't feel like going downstairs to get bigger plates. I didn't use a small plate because I was trying to eat less, because that was one of the tactics I used to use. It's a tiny little cake plate from a birthday party. It's got a cute little dog on it. Anyways, one of the tactics I used to use when I was trying to lose weight is if you use a smaller plate, you feel like you're eating more because the plate looks more full, right? And that's not what I did today. I just was lazy. But this food brings out so many thoughts when I'm putting it together, when I'm showing it to somebody else. I'm thinking, why am I eating these carbs? I shouldn't have chips. I should have added fruit or a vegetable. There's bees flying around. I should have added a fruit or a vegetable or something like that to balance this out. I shouldn't be drinking diet soda, all those things. Okay, so if you're thinking those, trust me, I've thought them too. I hear it. I hear you. That's not me anymore. That's not me. So even though I have those thoughts creep in all the time, I am constantly fighting them off. Okay, I did low carb for 3 years straight, like keto/low carb. And I can't tell you how long it's taken me to feel comfortable eating carbs. It's taken a very long time. So I'm gonna eat this and I'm not gonna feel guilty about it. I'm gonna eat what I want and I'm not gonna eat what I don't want. And that's gonna be my lunch. So I only need paper towel and toilet paper. So we'll see what I leave with. Costco had a 4-pack of Mums for $16.99, so I had to grab some of those, and I got a couple bags of chocolate. One of these satisfies my sweet tooth in the evening. All right, so Costco's done. I did get a couple things that weren't on my list, a couple things for my father-in-law, and then I showed you the stuff that I got other than that. But I did want to hop on here really quick. I have to be to work in a few minutes, but I wanted to really quickly touch base on side effects that I've experienced on this medication. So I had a few digestive, issues, I guess. Not really issues, like, you can have, it's very common to have like diarrhea or even constipation, those kinds of things. And I've had very minimal. I've had almost no side effects other than appetite suppressant from this medication. So I've been really lucky. I did have a strange side effect where, a couple of them actually, where one, and I've just been experiencing it lately. I haven't experienced it for months now, but I just started having it happen a couple times in the last week, where I swallow and I feel like the food is stuck at the top of my like esophagus. I'm not choking, I'm not like panicking or anything like that, but it hurts. It just sits there and eventually it goes down. So I told my doctor, my primary caregiver, about it months ago when it was first starting to happen, and she decided, because I didn't have any heartburn or any other like GERD symptoms to go along with it, she decided to send me in for a thyroid ultrasound just to make sure, because of the black label warning on the box. I don't have a family history of thyroid cancer. I don't have any other markers that would make me susceptible to thyroid cancer, but because I did have this, I believe it was called dysphagia, because I had that, she wanted to make sure that it didn't have anything to do with my thyroid, even though she didn't think it really did. It's better to be safe than sorry. I did have an ultrasound of it. Everything was fine. So that's not the reason. It's just a weird side effect. Another side effect that I had that I never would have thought I would ever have, and I looked it up on the internet when it was happening to me, and I couldn't believe how many people were having this issue. Like, anybody at all, I was surprised that they were having this issue. I was getting random pain. Like, it felt like I had shingles on like one part of my leg, or like one time it was on my neck. One time it was on the side of my leg. Another time it was on my, where was it? There was another time it was on, my ankle. And it would last, like, the shortest one I had was like 3 days, and the longest one I had was about a week and a half, where it just felt like even to brush against it was so sensitive. I don't want to say it was I guess it was pain, but it was more sensitivity than anything. So that's what I was like worried that maybe I had some kind of shingles or something, but I didn't, because there was no other symptoms of shingles. And I found it on, when I looked up symptoms or side effects from this medication, that was actually something that people had reported. That I've experienced. And I do want to add that when, like today, for instance, when I was eating my lunch, when I got to the end of my lunch, the very end, and I think this is just something that happens because the medicine is working. The very last couple of bites, I knew that I was full because I started to feel ick. Like I want to say queasy, but I didn't feel like I was going to be sick or anything like that. I just felt like I'm done. And, it's not necessarily an appetite suppressant. I don't qualify that as appetite suppressant. I feel like my signals of being full are loud and clear. So that is one thing I really appreciate about this medication as well. I ended up taking 2 pieces of chocolate and a pear with me to work for a just in case snack. Okay, so I'm on our pool deck right now. I needed to come out here because there was too many people in the house and there's just so many noises. My father-in-law's visiting, so there's like 4 dogs right now because we have 3 dogs plus he has a dog, and just everybody's coming home from work and school and blah blah blah. So I do need to get to soccer. I have to leave soon, but I wanted to talk about how much weight I've lost on this medication. I wanted to do that portion of this chat. So I did start the medication January of this year, and so it's been about 8 months, and I have lost a total of 32 pounds. That did not come off quickly. Maybe in the beginning it was like 2 or 3 pounds a week for just a couple weeks, but it has been pretty consistently like 1 pound a week, maybe sometimes only 3 pounds a month. So for some reason this time when I'm losing weight, like I had said earlier in the video, I don't really have a goal, but what I mean by that is that I'm not looking for a certain number on the scale. I mean, it was exciting because today I got under 200 pounds and that was super exciting, but I'm not trying to be 160 or 150, or I don't have like a number in my mind. I'm just going to work on losing weight until I feel like I'm at a good weight and I'm at a comfortable weight. And actually, I don't really mind being in this transitional period because I do feel good right now about my body, and I still have some, I have some things about myself that I would like to change, but at the same time, my mindset is just so different than any other time that I was on a diet. I just don't care how long it takes, and it's been really nice. And I also feel like because I've been the girl who lost the weight and gained it back, I don't really know what I thought was going to happen when I finished losing weight. I gained it back, but I don't really know what I was expecting to happen after I lost the weight, if I thought that my life was going to be better somehow. I mean, it is good to, lose weight and be healthier and all that kind of stuff, but it didn't really change me all that much, other than the fact that I had gotten smaller. So even though I don't have any like set in stone goals, that doesn't mean that I don't want to have goals at some point. I just don't know that I'm gonna make one of them a number on the scale. So I want to maintain all the health benefits that I've had so far from losing the weight. I did drop my total cholesterol in 1 year. I had lost about 9 pounds before I started the medication, so I was down about 40 pounds over the course of the past year. But when I had my checkup in May, I was down like 30 something pounds, and I had dropped my total cholesterol by 42 points. So that was a huge win for me. I was so happy with that. That just felt like it made the entire process worth it. So all my numbers were in a normal range. I've never been pre-diabetic or insulin resistant or anything like that, so that was never an issue for me, thank goodness. But my cholesterol was up last time I went, and I was really happy to get that back down. I ended my day with a beautiful sunset over the soccer game of my son. Then we had an easy dinner of pizza. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you come back soon. Thanks for watching.